My wife's best friend has always tried to insert herself in my life, and when my wife was knocked out, she tried to get inserted and cried grape when I refused her advances and decked her in the face. I, 35M, have been with my beautiful wife, 34F, for close to 10 years, and we have no kids as of now. My wife's best friend, I'll call her Amy, has been friends with my wife for about 15 years, all throughout college where I originally met my wife. Myself and Amy haven't ever been the best of friends, however, we've been cordial for the sake of my wife. I've always found her to be obnoxious, loud, and entitled, the kind that inserts herself into any and every conversation, whether that be on a night out with friends or a private conversation. For example, my best friend and I were talking about fertility issues in his marriage during a dinner with our longtime friends. We were quiet enough so that nobody could hear us over the chatter, yet she found a way to be nosy and make a comment on how she would off herself if she couldn't do the one thing a woman was made to do. This pissed off my best friend and his wife to the point where they excused themselves and left early to go home. Now onto the actual situation at hand. Amy's boyfriend, I'll call him Khalid, had left her due to her annoying personality. I think it was more of a build-up, but what set him off was when Amy purposely did not feed their dog while he was on a work trip, because he was sleeping while she was drunk and calling him to pick her up. That's only the tip of the iceberg. Amy has always been weird with me. She has constantly tried to DM me on Instagram, trying to make conversation about gossip in our friend group or completely random things, and I have always ignored her. My wife has always seen past her strange behavior, and she refused to believe her dearest best friend would have ill intentions. Anyway, after their breakup, Amy came over to our house to see my wife. My wife was feeling ill on this day, so she took some meds to help her fall asleep and was out within an hour. I could not ask Amy to leave in the state she was in, so for my wife's sake, I suggested she could sleep in the guest bedroom. She agreed and went to bed. I was in the kitchen cleaning up after dinner, and she waltzed into the kitchen with nothing but undergarments on. She acted shocked and claimed she didn't know I was still in the kitchen. I felt extremely uncomfortable and decided to call it a night. However, she started undressing and approaching me, telling me how my wife doesn't have to know and she's seen the way I've looked at her. I was completely baffled and told her she'd gotten the wrong idea and should be ashamed to do this to her own best friend while I tried to scurry out of the kitchen. However, she practically leapt in front of me and touched my manhood through my pants. Without a second thought, I hit her. I know I could have easily pushed her, but in the moment, I panicked and punched her in the face. She started wailing, enough that my wife woke up and stumbled into the kitchen to see her best friend, exposed and bruised. She then went on about how I tried to grape her and that I'm a disgusting human being and she should divorce me. I snapped back that she approached me, undressed, and a rejection wasn't enough for her to back off, so I punched her, hence the bruise. My wife didn't say anything. Instead, she fainted and fell on her side, and I immediately brought her to the hospital. My wife is now okay but refuses to talk to me about what happened.
You can now check if there is a part 3 by pressing share and